Madam Speaker, I rise out of great concern for the violence and looting that has been taking over in Minneapolis. Even more troubling is the seeming endorsement and, yes, incitement of it by members of this body. It's unconscionable that a member of Congress sent to Washington to make the laws that govern our nation would encourage Americans to disregard those laws. Yet one of our Democrat colleagues, only one day after 136 rioters were arrested, called for protesters to stay on the street.
I hope that we're going to get a verdict that is say guilty, guilty, guilty. And if we don't, we cannot go away. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
And so let's stay the course. Let's make sure we show up wherever we have to show up. And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Get more active and get more confrontational against our law enforcement. Urging this escalation by asking protesters to ignore the citywide curfew. Hours later, that inevitable escalation did occur, with National Guardsmen and police being fired upon. These are very dangerous actions. Is this the standard by which we want this House to represent the people of this country?
Chair of the House Financial Services Committee. And Congresswoman, it's always great to talk with you, but I specifically want to talk to you today because you have been where AOC is. As somebody who's been obsessively attacked by the right, vilified.
You get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome anymore, anywhere.
Because I have been threatened also so many times, and you're absolutely correct.
And you push back on them. And you tell them they're not welcome.
The Oath Keepers, who were part of the domestic terrorists who came to the Capitol and invaded our Capitol, attempted to come to my office in Los Angeles. They tried to organize other domestic terrorists to join them.
You get out and you create a crowd.
I am, of course, accustomed to being threatened, but I have to be concerned about security, and I have to watch my back, and I have to make sure that I'm not putting myself in a position where I can be harmed. I have to know, where I'm going, when I'm going. I oftentimes have security, had it all during my campaign, have to make sure that I'm not allowing people to walk behind me.
And if you see anybody from that cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd.
I have to look out before I step out to see if there are any strange-looking people loitering around, on and on and on. For the President of the United States to sit and watch the invasion and the insurrection and not say a word because he knew that he had absolutely initiated it. And as some of them said, he invited us to come. We've got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
That incitement, I recall a lot of talk some months ago about a much lesser speech being insightful, language much less geared towards that, being insightful.
Now it is up to Congress to confront this egregious assault on our democracy. And after this, we're going to walk down, and I'll be there with you. We're going to walk down. We're going to walk down anyone you want, but I think right here, we're going to walk down to the Capitol, and we're going to cheer on our brave senators and congressmen and women. And we're probably not going to be cheering so much for some of them, because you'll never take back our country with weakness. You have to show strength, and you have to be strong. We have come to demand that Congress do the right thing and only count the electors who have been lawfully slated. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections. I know that everyone here will soon be marching over to the Capitol building to peacefully and patriotically make your voices heard. Today we will see whether Republicans stand strong for integrity of our elections, but whether or not they stand strong for our country. Our country. Our country has been under siege for a long time. Far longer than this 4-year period. We've set it on a much straighter course, I thought, 4 more years. I thought it was
got to get more confrontational. We've got to make sure that they know that we mean business.
Yet it happens here. Strong action needs to be taken by Speaker Pelosi and this House against these types of words. I yield back.
Time is expired.